this is a bear vault. This is also a meal plan for 2 people for 4 nights and 5 days, and we are headed into Big Bend National Park. And man, look at this beautiful bluff I have behind me, and I can't wait to get out and explore. And I'm working on some new meal plans for the 2022 seasons, but specifically bear vault meal plans. So meal plans that fit in a bear vault for specific lengths of trips. So come along as we test out a new meal plan. Hey, yo, Chef Corso. I'm here to put you on the path to amazing meals on your outdoor treks. And again, we are in the desert of Big Bend National Park. First time for me here, so I am really excited to get into the park this whole week with my good buddy TG. He's here to help me test out this new meal plan. But meal planning for any trip can be a challenge. And the challenge for this specific meal plan is not only weight, because that is a factor, but it's volume, where we only have so much volume that we can fit in this bear vault. So I want to make sure that my ingredients are packable, that they're sometimes smushable too. I don't want them to break along the way. But they also need to be tasty, satisfying, and filling, because we're hitting the trail and we're covering some miles over the next few days. So let's check out what's on the meal plan. So it's breakfast day 2. So we are having some breakfast sandwiches today. So sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwiches. But a couple things to note here is, for this meal plan, I kind of wanted some sandwiches today, but these actually did not fit in the bear can. So I think what I'm going to do is make an edit for the final version to make this breakfast burritos rather than breakfast sandwiches, to be able to have this fit and slide right in the side of that bear can. And these sausages are a fake sausage. So this isn't pork or beef or anything. This is actually a veggie sausage, and they are pre-cooked, vacuum sealed, and they can last for 1 to 2 days on the trail. But if you are concerned about bringing these along, you could easily switch this out for some summer sausage or some dehydrated beans to give you some nice protein in the morning. But you do you for your breakfast sandwich or breakfast burrito. Let's cook it up. it's night 2 and it's time for dinner, and TG and I are gonna whip up some pad thai. So this is what our pad thai looks like, all packed up. And this is 2 nights worth of pad thai. So I've got 4 spindles of noodles, and what I am using for this is some ramen to save a little bit of volume in the old pack there. But this doesn't look like one whole portion, but it actually is going to give us one really nice portion. But then the other things that I packed in here, which I'll show you in a sec, is some dried shiitake mushrooms, a little bit of the jerky that you made.
There we go.
Hell yeah. Because then we can get a little bit of protein and it hydrates pretty nicely. So we've got some shiitake mushrooms, some jerky, and some wasabi peas in there, but you can really choose your own adventure as far as dry stuff you want to throw in that broth to really jazz up your pad thai. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the water boiling for our noodles. You want to chop up our veggies. What kind of veggies did we pack today?
Looks like we have some snap peas.
Nice.
And some green onions.
Nice. And then another fresh thing I did pack too, which is really important, is a lime. Got a nice fresh squeeze of lime on there. And then so those have been sitting in our bear can for a few days. How are they doing?
They're very crisp.
Yeah, they crunchy still?
Nice and crunchy.
Nice. Whoa, they are pretty crunchy.
There we go.
Crunchy and poppy. Awesome. So it's good to see that they're hanging out in the bear can just
these
fine.
will do fine for a few more days.
Yeah, and I don't know, the temperature outside has been actually pretty warm, so like 75, 80 degrees with our bear can chilling. Oh, I think I put some more stuff in there. Oh, some random kale. Yeah, why not? Because of course you need kale in your pad thai.
Gotta have some kale.
I forgot I had that in the refrigerator, but yeah, I threw it in there. Also wanted to see how it acted over a couple of days.
Yeah, this kale, today would probably be the only day I'd use it.
Yeah, well, that's something too, if you are bringing fresh ingredients, is to check the quality and eat the ones that are less good or the best good right now, and have the ones that are lasting a little bit longer tomorrow. Nice.
There we go.
Well, TG's gonna chop up our veggies. I'm gonna boil up some water, and we'll get our sauce going as well. Man, you really chopped that up fast.
There we go.
It's like you know what you're doing.
Done a time or two, I guess.
Nice. So for those little onion buds, what are we gonna do with those?
I just throw them in the stock.
Yeah, might as well just eat them. Don't really want to pack them out.
There we go.
Oh man, we are boiling. That was fast. So this recipe, I mean, I'm using ramen here today, but you could easily use the classic pad thai noodles. You could use the vermicelli noodles. Also make this pad thai rice too, depending on what kind of ingredients you're packing along in your meal plan. But all the noodles can work really well. Well, while this is boiling, TG and I here have been friends for a long time. I haven't seen him for a couple years, but we met in culinary school many, many years ago. So this is why this guy knows how to use a campy chef knife.
Yes.
But it's great to, we haven't cooked together in a long time. We used to be kitchen partners during culinary school. So it's great to be cooking with you again.
Good to be here.
But we're doing it on rocks and logs now rather than in a fancy kitchen.
This is true. You can't beat the wild.
Yeah, it's great to cook outside too. It's awesome. But what's nice about having another person along for your meal plan is that it helps share the load as far as prep, as far as cooking. It's more fun to cook with somebody rather than just by yourself, you know, staring at a ridge or staring at a lake. So it's pretty nice.
Always somebody to help with the leftovers.
Yeah, that too. Oh my God, this is looking really good. All right, so I think our noodles are getting nice and soft. So I think we'll add the sauce ingredients to the pad thai. All of our sauce ingredients right in our pot here. cooking it for another minute or so. And for this pot, it doesn't have too much extra liquid, so it soaked it all up, which is really, really nice. And our noodles are nicely coated with our garlic powder, peanut butter, sriracha, all that yummy stuff.
Yeah.
All right, you want to hit it with some green onions and some peas? Yeah, nice. Perfect. Yeah, we'll get all we can in there. Oh yeah, right, there's kale. Wow. Wow. Look at that. Nice and fresh. Oh, I'm excited. Smell?
It's really smell that.
What do you smell?
The peanut butter.
Peanut butter?
Very strong, yeah. Nice. Garlic.
Yeah, buddy. See how it is.
There we go. That's tasty. A little bit of that sriracha in there. Kicks it up.
Yeah, that's super good. All right, let's
Perfect. There we go.
Thanks for coming along for our testing trip into Big Bend National Park. We had to scoot boot it back to Austin for our last day of our overall itinerary, and thankfully I think we missed a tornado, so you know, that's pretty good. And here's one hot tip: make sure to give yourself one whole day on the front and the back of your itinerary, because it is not close to anything, but it is definitely worth a visit. So the last thing that we did after we soaked in the hot springs is we did our trailgate, and I highly, highly recommend you do this. Do your future self a favor, is pack a recipe in a cooler, maybe a couple beers, maybe a couple cold beverages, and a snack, because that's what you want at the end of a hike anyway. So we're in Texas, so I packed some Verde queso. So really easy to pack, super, super tasty. We obviously just did it here on the tailgate, or the old trailgate, just outside of the national park area. But man, it is so good to have that right there, because it took us a couple hours to get the burrito that we really wanted at the end of multiple days in the backcountry. The reason for this trip was to test a new meal plan, and I did learn quite a few things about meal planning, specifically for a bear can, where I've got a few tweaks for this specific meal plan as far as volume goes, but overall weight was pretty manageable. Flavors were super good. We were both really satisfied throughout the whole trip, and we did have food left over, so that is a nice bonus. You know, on each trip is slightly different. We kind of snacked through some meals, or maybe got up a little bit late one morning, so we really didn't need all of the food we had, but it's always nice to have a little bit extra. My favorite for this trip, you know, I do love eating noodles with campy chopsticks, but I think my favorite for this one was the Holiday Bomb option 2, where there is something about putting wet gravy over a bowl rather than mixing it in with all the other ingredients. Both ways are really tasty, but there is something about having that wet gravy over all of those ingredients and just putting it right in my mouth. And also, one thing I learned from this trip, that even if you aren't going into bear country and don't need to take a bear vault specifically for overall safety of your food and your crew, it also is just really nice for organization. There's multiple times on this trip where I was like, oh man, where's the food? To be like, oh, well, there's the bear can. Great, got it, no worries. And we got the stove, we got the gas, all that kind of stuff. So it was really nice for overall organization of the full meal plan. So consider that when you are planning for your trip this season. If you're interested in this specific meal plan, it is ready for you over at outdooreats.com or the link below. But I also have other bear can meal plans for 2, 4, and 6 night trips coming up this season, both in the meaty realm and also in the vegetarian. So if you are looking for options to take out there, you just don't know what to do, check out one of our meal plans and it could help you out. Also, if you're looking at them, you're like, oh man, I really don't like this flavor of something, then use it as a starting point and just switch out one of the recipes here and there based on your flavor profile or based on the overall weight or your overall trip that you're going on, because each person is eating just a little bit different out there. So customize it to your own, but we've done a lot of the work for you. But wherever you're going, get out there and cook something tasty, find a new friend on the trail and share it. Boca boca.